Apex has a history of teasing legends way in advance before they release them. Like, look at Newcastle. He was teased way before he came out. Maggie was, Ash was, Rampart was, Loba was. So that leaves the question, what legends have been teased that are going to release in the future? And I've done a list of what I feel are the most likely, starting off with Vantage's mum. She seems like a very big candidate to become a legend in the future because she's cooler than Vantage despite currently being a side character, but her main lore is she got falsely imprisoned and Vantage has joined the games to raise awareness of this false imprisonment. And obviously this is getting censored, but she's trying her best. The interesting thing is, Respawn keep bringing it back up. In 2 comics lately, Vantage's mum has been present, and she just seems like the perfect character to have a crazy redemption arc and join the games kind of like a fan favorite. And also her design is really cool and she has some really cool concept art. This is her actual concept art. We can't see the full piece. Maybe they'll release it when they release her as a legend, you know what I'm saying? And also, her voice actor is a really well-known voice actor that almost seems wasted to have on a side character. Her voice actor is voice acted in League of Legends, Arcane, Fire Emblem, and 2 CODs. In my opinion, Vantage's mum is the most likely person to become a legend in the future because, you know, she seems set up to be released from prison to join the games. But who's next? The second character I think could become a legend in the future is Mila, and she's come heavily back into the lore lately. You may remember Mila from when Crypto first released. She was present in his trailer and she basically acted as a sister to Crypto until their apartment was raided and Mila was abducted while Crypto managed to get away. And there's been a few teasers here and there about her, but majorly during the Kill Code lore, she's come back big time. It turns out she was working for Eduardo, monitoring Loba, monitoring Crypto, monitoring many legends, and was basically tasked by Eduardo to be a counter hacker to Crypto. Although despite her working against the legends, it does seem like she doesn't want to be doing this because she secretly didn't put as much effort into counter hacking as she could have. And now Eduardo is dead, it begs the question, what is Mila gonna do? Because she clearly doesn't want to be working for Eduardo, she's clearly under some sort of deal after she got abducted. What's gonna happen? And on top of that, in the loading screen that came out in week 3 of the Uprising event, Crypto does contact Caustic about something mysterious, so maybe this is to do with Mila. Now, Mila is clearly a very interesting character, and she's clearly got a lot of skill, but I do wonder if Respawn are going to keep her as a side character, or maybe try to move her on to being a legend. It'll be pretty interesting, but what are your thoughts on Mila specifically? But enough about Mila, because I think there's a side legend all of us would love to see to come to Apex. Newt. Yes, Newt as in Horizon's son. And if you're not aware about Horizon's lore, basically a surface level, about 80 years ago in Apex lore, she had a son that she cared about, but on a mission when she went to space to get a rare resource from a black hole, she was betrayed by her assistant Ashley Reed, who later became Ash, who shot her into the black hole, which caused crazy time dilation, which caused 80 years to pass and for Horizon to be catapulted into the future, causing her to lose track of her son, and her main mission to be to figure out time travel to go back and be with her son. And because of all this drama, she really hates Ash because Ash basically caused her to miss her whole son's childhood, adulthood, and basically everything. Newt's probably like 87 years old right now. But the thing is, Ash actually has a major soft spot for Horizon's son Newt, to the point where Ash literally saved his life by telling him to leave a laboratory before she basically killed everyone inside there, causing a weird situation where Newt has had his childhood with his mother Horizon and sees her as his mother, but also had his like teenage years and a bit of his adulthood with Ash, and also probably sees her as a mother figure as well, which would make for a really interesting dynamic if he ever joined the games in like his mid-30s or something, and could definitely be possible considering the fact that Horizon is developing a way to time travel right now. Also, Ash's heirloom is one of Newt's old toys, which is pretty weird, but honestly I would love to see Newt as a legend because he would be one of the most confused people ever. To be fair though, at the minute I feel like Newt's only going to be introduced as a side character in the future, and I think it would be confusing to make him a legend because he would have to time travel himself, which would just be majorly confusing. But considering the fact that the next lore arc is Horizon, once again trying to make an attempt to find him and potentially time travel to him, maybe we'll see more stuff about Newt sooner than you think. But enough about time travel, it's confused me so much. Let's talk about the mobile legends. The mobile legends are probably some of the most requested legends to come into Apex, simply because they have pretty cool abilities. As you know now, Apex Mobile is discontinued, so these characters are basically in stasis. We had Fade, where his tactical was an ability to phase rewind, and also his ultimate was an ability that you could throw down and send everybody in the area into the void. And also, when he slided, it gave him a speed boost. And there's also Rhapsody with the most dumb looking abilities, so I don't want her to come to Apex. But Fade, he looks very cool. And because of this, ever since he came to Apex Mobile, people have really wanted him and theorized about him coming to main Apex. And what are the chances of this? I think it's definitely less now Apex Mobile is discontinued, because I feel like Respawn just kind of want to brush that project under the rug and not bring anything up about it. Although there have been references before that give us hope about potentially stuff coming from mobile to PC. So honestly, Fade and Rhapsody are definitely up in the air as potential legends, and it would be really cool to see them come back one day. Although it is pretty likely that Respawn just kind of scrubbed the Apex Mobile lore away from their books and were like, yeah, we don't want to mess with that again. But if they ever brought Fade as a legend in the future, it would be kind of the ultimate fan service. Rhapsody, though, she has cool abilities, but personally, I think they wouldn't mesh well into the Apex version on PC and consoles. The next character we're going to talk about, though, is one of the most famous theories of a side character becoming a full legend in the future. And it's Margo / Big Sister, which may confuse some of you, but a lot of people think this character and this character are the same characters. One character is from the Season 15 story from the Outlands, and one character is from the Season 6 story from the Outlands. And this is mostly because in the Season 15 story from the Outlands, which is canonically earlier, Margo was a friend of Catalyst, and they were both freedom fighters until they got caught in the act at one point, and Margo actually seemingly got blown up by her own bomb, and that was the last we ever heard of her, apart from Catalyst telling Rampart, keep that in your head, the story of it. And then going forward in the lore, we had the Season 6 story from the Outlands trailer, which featured Big Sister, who was the leader of a gang, who had red hair and a scar over her eye, and a mask covering something, which immediately caused many people to theorize that Margo is Big Sister, and she's covering her face because of the burns from the bomb, and the scars on their eyes match up to be a hint. And when Respawn were directly asked about this theory, they said no comment, which set a lot of people off, basically saying it's confirmed. And I do like this theory, and even if it wasn't true at the time when Respawn saw it, I think they should make it true, because Margo and Big Sister are literally perfect to be the same character. Like, Margo literally had a bomb explode in her face. That's why she's wearing a mask. Her face is all screwed up. There's your lore explained. Make it happen, Apex. The last time we actually heard of Big Sister in the lore was when she stole the Nemesis assault rifle design from Rampart, sold it herself, and was basically calling Rampart, taunting Rampart, and telling Rampart to join her organization to make more weapons. Which brings Rampart back into the story. So Rampart has heard of Margo, and she has beef with Big Sister. It just seems like too much to be a coincidence. Like the whole story of Ballistic's son. Yes, Ballistic's son is a side character I think has huge potential to become a legend, mostly because of recent developments, because as you know, Ballistic's son was actually meant to join the games until Ballistic took his place to protect him, kind of. But it turns out he wasn't very happy about this, and in some comics after Ballistic released, it turns out Ballistic's son has kind of grown a resentment towards Ballistic for stealing his spotlight, to the point where he went to the Ballistic announcement and was throwing stuff on stage. He was so mad, which is kind of sad. And he just seems like the perfect character to come back in like 7 seasons, join the games, and create some tension between Ballistic. Because at the end of the day, what Ballistic did was kind of rude and a bad move, because he stole the spotlight and future from his son. So I wonder if Ballistic's son could join with the pure intention of revenge. Kind of like what Loba did to Revenant. She joined because she kind of hates Revenant. Also, Ballistic doesn't really seem like a good guy, to be fair. He's cool, but he kind of just betrayed his whole family several times over. And for the last 2, let's do them in some speed rounds, because Forge is always going to be someone people think Respawn is going to bring back as a legend, mostly because he was meant to be a legend before he got killed by Revenant, but did he get killed? There's just a lot of confusion around this guy, so obviously I've got to feature him on this list. And also Blisk. Blisk is also a character that was present in Titanfall 2, and ever since Apex was first released and Blisk made his appearance in that first cinematic, people have been theorizing like crazy about Blisk becoming a legend. And it doesn't help the case that Respawn were trying to put him in as a legend at one point, and there were 2 separate leaks about him becoming a legend, but obviously they were scrapped. So Blisk also seems like a big time candidate to become a legend at some point, especially now Duardo is dead. The games need some sort of like commissioner and someone to manage the games, because at the end of the day, Duardo's use has been taken away from him. No one is managing the games right now. So what are your thoughts on these characters? Who do you think is most likely? And subscribe if you like this.